Decorating Pages is a podcast dedicated to taking you behind the scenes of the designs of your favorite TV shows and films. Each episode, I'll be sharing design stories from some of Hollywood's most famous sets. Interviews from set decorators, production designers, directors, and actors about creating the look of TV and film, about their design inspirations, and stories that take sets from page to screen. Hello, and welcome to Decorating Pages. I'm your host, Kim Wanup, and my voice is not great, so I am going to try to keep opening and closing short and sweet, but I have so much to say too, which is such a bummer. But I want to start off with the SDSA had their annual, or they haven't had it in 3 years, annual. It was the luncheon, now it's the SDSA Honors, and the Lifetime Achievement Award was given out to Marianne Biddle, who is just, I would not be here without Marianne Biddle. I have told the story of taking the path to production designer, and I literally saw a empty set, and the next day came back and she had dressed it, and that was it. Then I knew that's what I wanted to do. She was honored for her body of work Somewhere in Time, Magnum PI, NYPD Blue, Murder Run, Scandal. It's just staples of awesome decorating. So it was not only amazing to be out and about with other decorators again, it was also so joyous to be there for her moment of the Lifetime Achievement Awards. So that happened over the weekend. You can go to setdecor.org. God, I can't remember. But Set Decorators Society of America, and look up. I'm sure they'll have pictures and details about the event. And obviously, I'm always saying what an amazing organization they are. And I've been a part of it for a long time and was the president. So obviously, I love it. So yeah, I would never say anything bad, but it helped me tremendously in my career of knowing other people and having strength in numbers, and I'm a big fan of it. So that was yesterday. That was so nice. So quickly, I want to give a shout out to Christina Bartha, who listens to the podcast and let me know that there was a problem with Maya Siegel's podcast. So thank you so much. And if there is a problem, if you could email me and let me know, because I don't know, you put it up and it's fine. And then, I don't know, I don't know what happens. And then it wasn't playing. And so for anyone who downloaded Maya's episode and it didn't, it cut out in any way, please just delete that and then re-download it. And you'll be able to hear the full, I'll have to check it again, but you'll be able to hear the full episode. So quickly, what Wanup's watching? I'm watching Barry, the 4th and final season. You can listen to production designer Eric Schoonover talk about season 3 and his designs, and he was just going in to shoot season 4 when we spoke last year. So I like it. I never know how it's gonna turn. I feel like I started out watching one show and it has turned and evolved into a completely different show, but I'm in. There was the rough patch. I think I was like, but now I'm back in. I think it was good. Succession is amazing. Here's the thing. It's so well written and acted, and I think because I know that it's the last season, I'm not taking a minute of it for granted. This past weekend, they were in Norway shooting these amazing locations and just phenomenal, like, backgrounds and the set dressing and everything. It's just like, it's so elevated. George DeTata Jr., I cannot applaud loud enough for you and your crew, and the design of this show I just think is top notch, really. Just really awesome. I'm still watching The Mandalorian, but guess what? The story sucks. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what we're doing, what we're following. I don't believe Pedro Pascal is in that suit anymore. I think he's just doing voiceovers, so I might have to give up on Mandalorian. I love the design, I love the look, but the story is just so boring this season. I can't take it. So yeah, that's quickly what I'm watching. And I should just say, coming up in the next couple episodes, I have a production designer, Catherine Eder. We talk about Hellraiser and Black Mafia Family. Production designer, Clarence Major. We talk about The Consultant. And set decorator, Regina Graves, to kick off our Emmy season. Last year's winner for The Gilded Age. So, got a lot coming up. Check out the blog and the Twitter and all that. It's decoratingpagespodcast.com. And you can hit up everything there. So, in this episode, I speak with production designer Jordan Ninkovich, and he has worked on various amount of projects, including Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies, which we talk about in this Hoax, the Kidnapping of Sherri Papinni. And one of the things when I started to talk about or learn about him is that he has done, oh my gosh, what was it? 13 releases in 2022 of Hallmark movies. And look, I have always said, I worked for Hallmark. It's a machine. They bust them out. Like, that's incredible. It's a little scary, but I don't know how you do it. But, you know, they were filmed the year before and then they get released and whatnot. But I wanted to talk to him about Hallmark because I learned a lot doing the 5 movies that I did in 1 year. I worked with a production designer that led to him hiring me on a feature that turned union, and that's how I got into the union. I had 3 different designers, John Zachary, who I had met a year or so previously, maybe 2, on a film that I was on. I was a PA, and he remembered me knowing that I wanted to set decorate, and he hired me for the first Hallmark, and then Nick Rabowski took over, and then Ed. And so it was a very, crazy time because there was no crew and there was no money, and basically I could rent free from the prop house that one of the producers owned. Like, it was kind of shady deal going on, but I couldn't rent the good stuff. It was so weird. Like, I picked out this one dresser once, and they were like, oh, that's an antique. You're not allowed to, like, the Hallmark movies are not allowed to rent the high-end things. Okay, Premiere Props. It has since changed. I don't believe it's still like that, but, well, anyway. To me, I wanted to talk to Jordan because I want him to also share his experience. And I think that it is a path and a road for people to still get into the union and get experience before you turn union. So in his work on the Hallmark movies, he has brought to life the romantic and magical settings that some of the scripts, take place for these Hallmark films. From small, quaint towns to huge mansions, his designs have helped audience become fully immersed in the stories of Hallmark and others. In Hoax, he utilizes his expertise to create a raw and realistic depiction of the events surrounding the controversial disappearance of Sherri Papinni. She was a woman. She faked her own kidnapping, and I watched it, and I don't even know why she did it, but it's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. But his design really helps convey the emotional resonance of the story, and he also has many other shows coming out because he's constantly working. I was like, good for you, dude. So it was lovely to talk with him, so I hope you enjoy. I don't want to know anymore. Just because, you know what, it's cool and then it turns to slush and then it sucks. Slush is the worst.
Right.
So you travel back and forth, or do you mostly work up there?
Great question. I have a lot of my films have been in Vancouver or within Canada, mostly Vancouver. But yeah, no, I am traveling more to California now, and else, like Toronto, California, on the East Coast, United States, wherever the wind blows, which is great. So I'm blessed to be able to have that O1 visa to be able to do that and be able to work down the States, which is great for bigger opportunities, other different genres of film, and just kind of expand my career as a production designer, which is great. And I also have I'm also like really looking forward to one day doing some work out in the UK as well.
Oh,
Like
well, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
If you can travel, I mean,
yeah,
do it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When
I,
when when I was looking you up, I was reminiscent because I also started with like Hallmark movies and in that world in Los Angeles and in
oh,
that
nice.
world and everything. And I was looking that I know you didn't do them all in 2002, but you have 13 TV movies that you production designed in 2002. I mean,
Yeah.
did you sleep or that had to
I
be
didn't sleep.
like that had
No, and there's actually a couple missing on there that I did
oh,
not.
they churn them
So,
out.
yeah,
It is such a well sometimes well-oiled machine that they
yeah, it
have
is.
there of cranking these out, and it's a fantastic system when they pull it off. I mean, it's
It,
great.
it is, yeah, and like I think I think there's a couple missing on there. I think in total last year was 15 movies. No, to
Wow.
answer your question, I did not sleep,
Wow.
and I think that's kind of like the yin and yang of me. I just love what I do and bring these worlds to life, and of course, like I love design in every aspect. So it just brings so much joy to my life. And but I'm also like a naturally a crazy workaholic, so I can't say no to work. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm like, look, if they're back to back or kind of overlapping a tiny bit, everyone's cool that I'm on it. And I know it's kind of a madhouse, but the flip side is, hey, look, if you're in demand and they're asking for you,
Oh
then you're
yeah.
doing something right. And then at the same time, I think because of my natural entrepreneurialism kind of being brought up that way as a kid, right? And that's just who I am, right? So
Right.
it was definitely a challenge last year for sure. It was fun though. I loved it. I loved the fact that I didn't sleep and I'm borderline burnt out. But that's where I need to idle, or I feel like I'm not doing anything right. So it's kind of crazy.
Well, it's especially because you have a series going. I see like the Seven Deadly Sins, and you
Mm-hmm,
have this
mm-hmm.
series going. So I'm sure I don't know if you're not doing them like all in a row, but you're spacing them out in
They're,
between.
they're spacing them out. Yeah, we just finished Pride.
Hmm.
A few weeks ago, which was great. It's going to look beautiful. We had a lot of fun with it, and Derek Williams is I love him a bit. Enjoy working with him, and the talented Troy is a director. It's just great. We've got a great chemistry and great relationship, and they do spread them out. I think we'll probably do the next one closer to the end of this year, right?
Mm.
Which is great. We'll see what happens, right? But no, it's a great series, and I'm definitely you know liking the direction it's going and what I'm able to provide for them.
What are you having? If though is that series done in Vancouver or in LA?
It's done in Vancouver. Now, that's a great question as well because before Pride came to me, I know that they were talking about other locations, like even back east, like I think in New York, Toronto, even I think they even talked about. Don't quote me on it, but maybe even Cleveland. I'm not too sure. And then back to LA. They were kind of all place where they wanted to kind of do that one. It
Mm.
ended up back in Vancouver, which is great. And I can't speak for the next one where it will be, but wherever it will be, I'm excited for it.
Do you
Be
have
part of it.
do they have stages there or are you is it predominantly locations?
Yeah. So in that world, you know, yeah, like it was a mix of both. It was more locations in this case. I did take not a traditional soundstage and create like I created the entire hospital wing for this movie Pride. Like, it was not just a, you know, single hospital room, whatever. Like, I gave him almost 180 feet of 360 environment.
You need a lot of hallway in a hospital.
Yeah, just like, you know, check-in stations and nursing stations and rooms, and it was a blast. Actually, really beautiful set. I had a lot of fun with that, and so if there's a moment in a movie that I'm doing that traditionally a lot of like these type of level productions get a little worried about, like, just cost, and rightfully so, and time too, about turning around, building these sets on a soundstage or customizing them. That's where that's a little bit of a strong suit for me with my background in construction and in interior design and you know, building homes and commercial spaces outside of film in my past. So like, I have a great team to be able to, like, overnight, like, just erect a beautiful set, like with our eyes closed. And it's second nature to us, right? So it's if there's an opportunity, especially for cast, network, crew, director, like, to really customize something for them, I will definitely not hesitate and build anything for for the greater good of the film, for sure.
It's always nice to build, because then they have more control of lighting better and things like that. But it's always money and space and time.
It is, and it tests my, like, I love the challenge too. So if I can do that, I'm always up for it.
So you have a background in design? Because I see that you act too, so that's so interesting to me to hop into that.
Yeah. So it's funny. I started off. So I was when I grew up. I've always been a movie buff. I love watching movies and just fascinated with them since I was a kid. And growing up, I was kind of, there was that side of me, but there's also like the kind of like the sporty jock side of me. But my brother was who was older than me. It was the actor in the family, so to speak. And I was always like, wow, how do you do that, man? That's like so stressful. I don't know how you do that. But like, there was a moment in my life that I was like, you know, I'm going to try it out. And I did a little bit of stage acting, and I love the fact that it just kind of broke me and took me out and broke me out. And it took me out of my shell. I was a bit introverted, and that completely changed. I was like, wow, this is actually a whole new way to look at life. And I kind of like this side of me, and I'm just going to kind of entertain that a little bit more. So my journey in the industry started off actually stage acting and acting and stunts and understanding that whole method and loving it. And what I found over that series of years is that, you know, if I'm acting on a show or you know, working in a different department of crew, whatever, I was just fascinated by it. I was starting to realize, I was like, my God, I love these sets. I love, you know, these textiles and this architecture and these curves and how these all blend together and how everything works. And I was like, and I started finding a deep rooted eye and interest for design. And I thought, you know, I took a moment, took a little bit break. I said, I'm going to kind of just meditate on this to kind of see where this draw and this passion is organically coming from. And it didn't take me long to realize, okay, this is actually a true deep love of mine is design. And then I was like, I'm going to, not sure what to do. I did some research. I started off at a little arts college, and I went to Yorkville University to pursue my registered interior design, my BID. And I was like, and through that, I was obviously learning everything, ins and outs of everything, construction design, you name it, from the ground up, and loving everything about it while keeping a toe in the door with film acting and still be a part of that world, of course. And of course, you know, the actor's journey is not an easy one. And as much as that was like my first love, so to speak, I quickly realized after doing a series of homes and commercial spaces and really seeing, you know, designing a home or redesigning someone's kitchen or, you know, dream bathroom or whatever the case is, and they're coming in and shedding a tear and just completely changing their life. Not only did that just like bring so much love and joy to me, because it's like, you know, someone buying a home is like it's supposed to be one of the biggest purchases in their life. So if you can design it for them or do something amazing for them, it's quite a beautiful feeling. So I quickly realized that as much as I loved that, it was all the rules and regulations of every city by law and code that was kind of pulling at my creative
Oh, the
art,
real life.
the real life, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
I
real
have.
life stuff.
I know exactly what you mean.
And I was like, you know what? I'm too outside the box. I'm so driven by like bending every rule of thumb artistically, and just just really want to just live outside that realm and test things and challenge things and just be really artsy. And I said, okay, well then I got to go back. I got to look at production design, and it didn't take me long. It took one movie. And during that time, of course, I was a prop mastering and doing this, and I was like, I was still there, of course, I was
yeah.
still in the industry, and it took one movie to realize this is where I need to be. It gives me the freedom to be completely 100% artistic and just have this beautiful visions of creating, take a little piece of dialogue, building, designing these worlds, and having not just one person enjoy their dream bathroom or kitchen, but the whole world getting to see this, right? No, I thought that's beautiful, and there we go, and I haven't looked back. So,
but how did you jump into the track of like Hallmark and Lifetime, and
yeah.
how did you? Because what I see on from your background here is that you really did jump right into it. Like you got lucky and lucky enough, or like you worked with someone who knew someone who needed it. Like, how did you get into this track?
Yeah, it's a great question. I was on a show called the Wedding Cake Dreams as a prop master, and the extremely talented Gail Taylor, production designer, was on that show. It was a dear friend of mine. Actually, it's really funny. I've known Gail for a while, and at the time, I had a landscaping company. I was doing landscape design, and she was looking over a home for a client, and I was in their backyard cleaning out their pond. and Gail was on the phone with I'm assuming it was a producer, and she hangs up. And she was really frustrated with something. I said, Gail, I couldn't help but overhear you in your pond. I'm like, I didn't actually realize you do production design as well. I knew you were a designer. And she's like, yeah, I really need a prop master and this and that. And I said, well, I can be your prop master. She said, wait a second, what? And so anyway, we did some work together, and I was on that show, and I did a very, very good job, and had a blast, and met some people there, and I got automatically transferred over to another show to be a prop master for I think Cookies and Crumbs, or Lisa was the working title of it, and the also very talented Mo Curtin was the production designer for that, and I knew of Mo through some series of friends and connections, and he had an issue with some art directing and things like that, and I was a prop master, and I just overheard that he was really in a pickle there, and I did some quickly, just on my trailer, in my prop trailer, whipped out all this art directing, design work, and all this stuff that he needed for set, and kind of, in his own words, kind of saved his butt there for a second on set, and he never forgot that. And he actually, we had a heart-to-heart chat, and I said, look, I've been in design at that point for quite some time outside of film, and I said, I'm really looking to pursue being a production designer. I think my approach to production design is very unique. I have all these years of being an actor and understanding the movement of what actors need to do, and cast and crew and everything within my sets. I think my spatial awareness and planning everything is a different approach. And plus, not every production has gone and gone to school and gotten their degrees, or gone to school for this and that. And I think combining all that and being a little wild, because a lot of the stuff outside of film, I was starting to get known for being very outside the box and very artsy, if it's someone's home or a commercial space. So I kind of wanted to showcase that platform through film. And it didn't take long. A couple months later, I get a call from a company called Novus Productions in Vancouver, and said, hey, I want to come on down for an interview. I said, yeah. I said, we're looking for a production designer, and you got someone threw your name out there. So I came down and met with a couple gentlemen, and within 24 hours, I got a call saying, look, we got a movie, a Lifetime movie, and we want to try you out. And I said, I'd love to. So
that's great.
I crewed up and showed up, and literally from that moment on, and that was called the working title, and that was Dangerous Memories. I think it was Waking Up the Danger was the actual final film on that. Right. Again, worked with Troy Scott, who is actually the director of all the Seven Deadly Sins series. So I knew Troy back in the day when I was doing background work and other crew work through like Stargate and, and a bunch of different shows. And so I humbly saying this, I blew everyone's socks off, and they were amazed by the micro budget they gave me and the production value they got, and just how I approached everything. And from that moment on, it didn't stop. They shot me out to Hallmark really quickly, and of course Hallmark is amazing, but they're all like, well, we don't really know you and all these type of things, let's try you out. And so there was a couple little elements that they tried me out, and then from there it was like, okay, we want you to do this Christmas,
right.
that one, and everything else in between. I was like, okay, fair enough. And same with Lifetime, and so that was on kind of a circuit of between Lifetime, Hallmark, back to back, some almost overlapping, and then word got out to Tubi and Fox and other different platforms, and started branching out to doing a few other different things. Yeah. And after I did one Christmas movie, Hallmark loved it. They decided, okay, there's a different approach to different things. We liked kind of what you brought to the table, and all of a sudden I was getting Christmas calls every few weeks, right? Which are tough.
Yeah, when it's a holiday, I want to kill myself in a script, but especially when it's like August and you're like, what?
Oh God, I know, right?
But I think what you said is something I key in on all the time is it's not who you know, it's who remembers you, and you have to be prepared and ready at the time when they remember you. And I think exactly. that's always what I try to like tell people like who want to get into this. You gotta take every position. You gotta be a prop master. You gotta you gotta be a prop master to know that I don't want to be a prop master. Like, exactly. I think there's so many positions in the art department that are like, oh, I don't know what that is, but I'll try it, and then I might love it and I might hate it and I want to move on or whatever. You found your passion, so trying everything, and like you said, like being prepared when the call comes is like that's the best you can do here.
Exactly. And I'm really happy you said that, because like I feel that sometimes people coming up in the industry have maybe forgotten that or don't take a second to actually kind of think about that, because it's not about the old terminology about paying your dues or whatever the case. It's not about that. It's really actually genuinely understanding the dynamic of what this film industry is all about. We are all these amazing, talented people all in this big boat together, and we have to work systematically together in this rhythm, in this dance, to make the end result. We're all here for the same reason. And the more you understand that, or have an opportunity to just be like, you know what, I'm going to be a PA today. You know what, I'm going to be this. You know what, I'm going to be that. Just understand how everything works to a degree that you not just understand it, but you respect it. And so if you can integrate that into your persona, who you are in your work, then you're creating a really amazing balance. But it leads to that impression. Yeah. And for me, it's like, look, it's not about like you like me, you don't like me, it doesn't bother me. It's about my work, right? It's about the feeling I leave at the end of the day. And this goes with every single of my amazing crew that I have. We're like people love just to hang around us, because we're like I'm all about meditation, being zen, and like that's where my stem through my chakras, all my creative energy and my design. So like I pour that onto my crew, my art department crew. I said, look, this is how I vibe, this is how I gel. We're all going to be in the same boat. I want everyone to be jealous about how like chill and calm and funny we are. But that gives off that nice persona to the rest of the cast and crew, and they love working with us. So that's the impression that I try to give to up and comers and other people. Just like, you know what? It's not about, like you said, it's about that impression. If you leave an impression of like hard work and good person, then that's gonna leave go the distance and leave the impression.
It gets hard to be the cool department though. It gets hard. I mean, I'm with you, so let's be honest, but it gets hard to be like the cool laid back department of like, oh no, you want that set tomorrow? Okay, great. Like I'm gonna kill myself.
Trust me, it's hard work. Like, cause I can't show the amount of stress I actually I have right now.
No, it's like
pretend I'm really chill. Yeah.
This location manager I talked to once, I'm friends with. I was like, oh, so do you have any rules or anything? And he goes, no running. No running, because that shows panic, and nobody likes panic. So I tell all my people, no running. I was like, that is genius. I tell my PAs that now. No running.
They're running. Like, did I miss something? Why is everyone running?
Yeah, it's panic. You don't want to panic on the set. Especially if a location person's running, shit has gone wrong.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah.
Did you have a different approach with Hoax, the kidnapping of Sherri Papinni, because it's a real story, because it's a it really happened. The rest of these, I'm assuming I worked on homework. They didn't really happen, but I don't know.
You mean the other day? But yes, actually, again, a very good question. So when Hoax came across my desk, I was really excited because obviously I was very aware of the story and news and everything about Sherri Papinni. And what excited me even more so was actually when I got to meet for the first time Marta, the director of Hoax, because she, her and I just hit it off really, really quickly. But I loved her new approach to this movie, and where I say that is that her vision of her movie, she stayed true to. It was a different kind of style that took it kind of out of the traditional laneway of most likely, or at least the ones I've done myself of traditional Lifetime movies. She wanted to kind of bend that envelope a bit more. Now I'm all about that. I like to, so that gravitated to me really, really quickly. And so I really liked her approach and how she wanted to shoot it, the ideas that we were coming up with. And I felt that it was a great opportunity to showcase a different, or film it in a different way that traditional Lifetime movies, people are kind of used to kind of challenge the audience, challenge network, and see if there's an opportunity there to kind of expand the way that it was actually more cinematically shot than more, which it ended up being like more so than it would be more of a traditional TV movie. Right away, my mind kind of went to, and this is sometimes called upon us, okay, we're doing a period piece, we're doing this and that, so we need to kind of match everything from this period to that period, or history, or make it look exactly like that, so people can relate, and we're drawing from everything that happened. In this case, we minimized that. We had that portion, but we also wanted to make it our own. Marta was very wanted that, which is great. So it gave us a platform to be able to kind of still capture the story told from a slightly different point of view, a little bit more Sherri's point of view, and be able to capture a little bit different visuals compared to what reality was, which was great. We wanted to kind of create a different palette, different type of motifs for Sherri, which we did, and then again, it gave me the opportunity to build quite a few sets for this movie, which gave Marta the flexibility to really capture the shots that she wanted to do, but also paint the world a little bit more differently than reality, but still follow through and tell the story correctly.
What were your builds?
Yeah, so we built again the hospital sets, the hallway sets, pretty much 80% of the police station set, which was really great. Yeah. The interrogation rooms, the police and the recording devices room beyond the two-way mirror. What else did we do there? We did a few other sets. Obviously, all the parties were great. That was just a bare backyard, and we transformed that, which is awesome. Actually, there was a lot of other additional footage that never made
I'm sure.
That really brought those parties to life.
I was thinking about that, of like, I know this was a discussion of like, okay, we need a montage of her, like, all the activities at the party that she planned to make this the perfect party. And I was like, oh my God, they really nailed it with like the photo booth and ring around the unicorn and like all the games for the kids and all the good food and I was like, ugh. Whenever I see like montage in a script, I want to die. Like,
yeah, right.
But
there was a lot of fun, like symbolic things there that Marta and I wanted to kind of capture, to kind of, share this like super mom of Sherri and just the challenges that she had, but again, like, it was obviously a serious thing that took place, and like, but like, share, tell a story from different perspectives and lean in a little bit more of her side of things within reason, and I think it was it was neat there. The color palettes and the tones and like the little bird motifs and things like that, symbolizing, that she's trapped and then freedom and other different things that she was seeking and that she was feeling, and her internal struggle was kind of fun to kind of Easter egg throughout the house and other parts of the set, which were fun. It's great when you have an opportunity to work with anyone really that takes the time and value to like create all those layers within the set, instead of just making things look great or perfect, but allowing the environment to really tell multiple different stories through its layers, and then again, the more layers and layers like you can provide, even assist the cast and everyone else around it, which is fun.
Who is? I thought I had it written. I didn't write it down. But who is your decorator on Hoax?
That was Roxy Wong.
Roxy Wong. Yeah. I did. I thought it was really nice how her like super clean white life and like that like almost a hoax of her real life, that she's not even happy, and she portrays this woman and of perfectness when really it's not perfect to her. I'm like, oh man, I take that. I'll take that house anytime. And then when she goes to her kidnapper or her boyfriend's house, and it's gray and it's down and it's like, and she's got to clean it up and things like that. Like, just like the balance of that, of like, oh, look what you had, now where you're at, and then basically she's like, I gotta get out of here.
Right.
I love that she's like, no, we gotta come up with something because I gotta get out of here.
Right. And that's a struggle too, because sometimes we all fall into this. We sometimes think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not usually the case, right? You take for granted what you actually have, because we either get too comfortable, or in this case there was mental health struggles and so forth. But like, the poor guy, she shows up there and he's so proud of his face. It's not up to par.
And then, so did you film this while she was being sentenced? Because she was sentenced in September of 22, right? Ish? Or am I wrong?
It was after the fact. Yeah,
20,
it was after the fact.
After the fact.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's really ridiculous story, really, of like, you thought you had it so bad? Like, I don't get it. That poor husband. That poor man.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know.
Gosh.
I don't know how.
It's tough.
It's tough. And what she did to her kids, it's awful.
Well, I know, and that's the push and pull, right? Because like, she because it's terrible, but then meanwhile, like,
and her mom,
she's
a really fucking horrible person.
Right.
Well, now I'm blanking on her name, but I met that actress way years ago. I was on a film called Fanboys where she met her husband, and we were all super young and all hung out together, and she was super nice. That's all I know about her.
Yeah, no, she's great. Honestly, she's fantastic. She was a pleasure to work with, 100%. Yeah, she was great. Yeah.
And Jamie King. I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you working right now? What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm just prepping. I should be starting to prep next week.
You have 4 upcoming things. I mean, you don't sleep. I feel like
I do not sleep. No, I just I have there's a few things on the horizon which I'm really excited about. There's I just finished the reshoots or some additional scenes for Spread, which is going to be a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about that. Down in LA, I have a script right now in front of me for Hallmark.
Oh yeah, Harvey Keitel. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, that Spread is great. Spread that is going to be, I honestly, mark my words, it'll be a cult classic. It is super funny. The acting is amazing. The sets were, and I'm not just again saying this, they were amazing to design and to build. A lot of that world was from scratch, and loved every second of it.
Is that period? No.
Well, no, but like I had to go back and create this old boys club, porno office
Yeah.
environment, wood paneling and other different things, something out of like, the 70s and within reason and have it like slightly modernized, but not really. And then have that transition from when she works in and when she takes it over, which is really, really great. But there were so many great builds on that set, but just I had all the free reign in the world to really
Nice.
have fun with basically it being basically R-rated and really integrate a lot of different Easter eggs and layers to that set and just it was such a blast. Like it's so funny. I had the chance to view a little bit of it, and it's such a thrill, like to watch. I can't wait for that to be released. Harvey was amazing. Everyone was amazing on that. Elizabeth Gillies was fantastic. Everyone was so good.
When does that come
Ellie,
out?
super talented. Pardon me?
When does that come out? Do you know?
This year, I don't know officially yet. That this year at some point. I'm waiting anxiously myself, but it will be this year, which would be great.
Fun.
Again, Ellie, the director, was just phenomenal work with too. So she's great. So yeah, but currently right now, I'm just reading and starting to break down a Hallmark Weddings movie, which is going to be really, really great. We're going to film that in Vancouver.
Fun.
So I'm really excited about that. And then I have. Don't know any details yet, but I have a movie with Vince Vaughn coming up. That's probably going to be filmed here in Vancouver. And then I got a few other projects that I'm being considered for and chatting about either in LA or Toronto. So I'm just I'm excited for...
You're working. I mean, it's so slow. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I know it is slow. And trust me, it's been kind of weird to have a few weeks off, which is a good thing. I'm not going to... I'm very blessed, very grateful. I'm grateful to be able to be a part of some amazing projects, but I think it's just some of these have been like in the works, right? So I think that's why they've been rolling over from last year or whatever. So I think there's a little bit of a silver lining blessing to that, because yes, it is slow, but I'm just grateful to be able to be able to work. Right?
Are you watching anything that's inspiring right now to you?
Great question. Well. I'm a big fan of The Last of Us.
Oh, believe me, so am I.
It's great. Again, really enjoying the fact that I know that it's obviously filmed in Alberta.
Yeah.
Loving a lot of the sets and everything they've done. Huge fan of it. Would love to ever have an opportunity to work on that for sure. But it's really, really great. Obviously, being a video game fan of that and just seeing it come to life, it's great. Really, really enjoying it. Your Honor, I'm really into Your Honor.
Oh yeah, I might do second season. I mean, I watched the first one and when I really liked it, but to me, I was like, man, this guy got put through everything. Like, how could they have made a second season?
Yeah, exactly.
But apparently, I talked to the guy who does the makeup on it, and he said it's Showtime's highest rated show ever.
Wow, great.
Ever.
Wow.
So they begged Cranston to do a second season. So I guess that's why. He has to go through some more shit. But yeah, I gotta jump in. I'm gonna jump into that too. It's good. You like it?
I do like it. Look, I'm a huge fan of Bryan Cranston. I would do anything to work with him one day. So much I have him as Walter White tattooed on my arm.
There you go. There you go.
But he's I look. There's no words for it. I think his acting is sublime. I think he's very entertaining to watch. Your Honor is great. I think it's definitely. I agree with you. Like it's amazing they got another second season out of it. It is very emotional on the fact that like, holy, like again, I'm like, wow, this poor guy. Like,
this poor guy.
This is something else, right?
I also like that they do New Orleans in LA.
Yeah.
I know they do some shots there, but I mean, I like that because
very well done.
Yeah,
right?
I think it is. Yeah. It's really well done.
Yeah, I definitely like that. They've done a really, really good job. I just had the pleasure of watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and really I heard about it. I was actually even told by a good friend of mine to watch it, just to enjoy the production design, and I did. I think it was love. I really enjoyed that as well. I thought the attention to detail on a lot of the sets were really really good, and
I love their apartment and everything, like the laundromat, like.
Yeah,
I love the production design of it. I did not like the movie.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not a review on the movie. I'm not going to go there, but
yeah, I don't. But, and you know what? I bet it gets like Best Picture too, which I think is like. What else is gonna win? I mean, I kind of hope Top Gun wins, but I don't. I doubt it. But
yeah, that's
no, everything is. It got really like. There's a lot of fight scenes. I don't think I was ready for all the fight scenes in it. I wasn't ready for anything really. Like, I was late to the. I really only watched it last week. I was late to the party watching it, and but I didn't have any expectations. I just knew like everybody loves this movie, and maybe that's why you're kind of like what. But it is visually great. It is,
and that's what kind of I focused on. I was kind of lost, and I was like, there's a lot going on, and you know, I'm not like totally mesmerized and like sold on all the fighting scenes of any movie. Like, you know, it can get to a point where it's really drawn out or way too much. And I kind of got that feeling as well, but I just turned my attention to all the design work and I was just focusing on.
I know. I just watched, I watched Tar last night, which she's great, but man, that was, all these movies are like 3 hours long. I don't know what is. I think people's attention spans are getting shorter, not longer. Like and then I think to myself, you know what it is? These movies, they want people to go to the movies, so while they're there, they want to keep them as long as they can, or something. I don't know, but stay warm. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you so much for putting some time aside for this.
Oh my God, no, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. It's a pleasure to thank you again for having me. It's been great. It's been amazing. And you know, it's been such a pleasure to meet you and hear about all your successes and have great conversations. I really appreciate that very much.
Thank you too earlier for just the description of like, because that's really what I try to like encourage of like, you can get into this if you want. Like you can, it happens. Like whatever you were, if you're working in landscaping or, you know, design, like I think it's important to encourage that. Of like, it's not unattainable.
It really is important, right? Because like, you know, I think it's like you said, it's not just who you know, it's how you come across and the impressions you leave. And you know, like I'm like my mentality for every show I do and every new hire I bring on my crew or anyone I work with, is just like, we're all one together. It's like, I may be the production designer and everybody else doesn't matter. We're all one. And we're as strong, you know, we're only strong, we're as strong or stronger, like we're all working together and we're all one. So like I try to eliminate the hierarchy. I know there's a lot of that and everything else, but when it comes to like the creative process, at least for me, I just try to keep it really grounded and realistic and really allow things to blossom and really come through. And I'm always encouraging everyone to test their boundaries, right, and keep learning and keep advancing. And I'm, you know, like I love, like for me, like when I have a crew member comes up to me or somebody new or someone calls me and say, hey, look, you know, how do I get into this or how do I do that? How did you learn this? Like, you know, if I look back, like I barely was able to draw a stick man. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and now I can, you know, 3D render and draw and draft anything you want with my eyes closed, and it's just you know, dedication, determination.
It is. That's like, what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe someone hired me for Bones. When I think of it, like, I had only been a buyer and had done, I think, 4 or 5 Hallmark movies decorating, and one like really low budget movie. Like, so.
But look at that, though. That moment was such a like, and look what you did. What did you do?
99 episodes. Well, I did 99. I don't know. It keeps moving. It's weird to me. Well, like sometimes it says 98, and then I got to go back, like when I'm off, and you check up on your shit, and then I'm like, why is it 98 again? Like, who's taking me off an episode? Like, I know. Like, I'm like, who is doing this? But
like that's huge. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Because you know, and that's the thing. Like just that beautiful process. Someone just saying, you know what, your energy, who you are, you're like you said, young and willing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they gave you that opportunity, and look, boom, you took it, and you didn't go to your head. You
pretended.
Totally blew it.
Fake it.
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it was beautiful. Like, not like you. Like,
yeah,
it's amazing. It's good to hear. I
had good designers too, though. I had good designers who, you know, pushed me and helped me, and that's always like the designer decorator bond when you're on something. You know, it's like being married for that those months and everything. You're in it together, and you have to trust each other, and it's a lot. It's like my work husband's Okay, so I'm going to be quick. I hope that listening to him and how much he works, but working in, you know, with the constraints of TV movies and things like that, like you're designing all of these stories and, you know, there's so much to do. When you think about, like, there are so many shows, there are so many things. I mean, he did, as he said, like 13 things, and he said it was probably more. It's crazy. So there's work out there. Just be passionate, be consistent, be resourceful. Just, you know, it'll happen. I'm just trying to give hope to people who are trying to get in to the union and to the industry. Just, it will happen. I know it seems like forever. I started a new job today, and it dawned on me that I have not been back to Sunset Gower Studios in 20 years, which makes me feel so old. But I was a PA on American Dreams, and walking on that lot today just flooded me with memories. And I actually snuck into the building, because it's not our production office, and went and looked at my old office where I sat, and it seemed so small. It's so crazy. And I am telling you, when I was on that show, I thought, this path is going to take forever. It's never going to happen. Like, I'm going to be a PA forever. I'm going to be picking up lunches, and it didn't. You know, you move up, you meet people, meeting people, working with people, being diligent, and, you know, be aggressive. You know, the old cheer. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. I was a cheerleader. But seriously, it'll happen. I'm trying to give people hope. So there you go. I'm letting you go. My voice is gone. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you got an earful. I'm Kim Wanup for Decorating Pages.
Welcome to Pro Tips for the Pros, brought to you by Floor & Decor Bailey's Crossroads. In this series, we'll explore essential advice for professional contractors to deliver outstanding renovation results. Let's dive in. Clear communication is key to a successful renovation. Keep the customer informed at every stage of the project, addressing any concerns or questions promptly to maintain trust and satisfaction. Thank you for joining us for this pro tip on planning thorough renovations. Stay tuned for more expert advice brought to you by Floor & Decor Bailey's Crossroads.
A lot of people tolerate ordinary. Ordinary bathrooms, kitchens, entryways. Well, not on your watch. If you're a pro, you've got a new partner in town. Floor & Decor. From tile to wood to stone, Floor & Decor has more styles and job lot quantities of Schluter, Mapei, Laticrete, and other brands pros trust. Come see a whole new way to wow with Floor & Decor. Coming soon to Bailey's Crossroads.